What's up, everybody? It is once again hamstring focused leg day. And as you saw yesterday in yesterday's video, I got a cheat meal and kind of a refeed in the sense I was able to get a pre training muffin. But here's the thing about refeeds and cheat meals: you feel amazing while you're eating it, you feel amazing after you've ate it, but then the next day, if you're doing everything right, you feel like absolute shit. Not digestive wise. Thankfully, my digestion has been actually better after having that. But I mean, energy wise, because you were already so depleted and low that when you had that food, it boosted you up, but it instantly used it up as well. And so, I guess the best way that I could equate it or put something to like kind of put something to it is like the feeling of getting back from vacation. You just went on this sick vacation. You were in the beautiful plate in a beautiful place, and you got to eat some amazing food. But now it's back to chicken and rice and being at home. So it's a very positive, but it can also be a very negative thing. Now, I personally would have preferred to just gone straight through without any cheats, but like I said, it is necessary in the sense that my weight had kind of stagnated for a bit, and that tends to happen when you're cutting down for so long and your body says, okay, well, you've been eating so cleanly that I don't have to take away fat. I don't have to cut things away because you're already so lean that I'm starving. I'm barely holding on. And so you have to give yourself a dirty meal, something that it will be like, okay, finally giving me something to burn off, to not have on me. So that will help kickstart your metabolism, ramp up the burning. And yeah, today I woke up about 2 pounds lighter than I had been weighing in all week. So that's good. We'll see how much I weigh in tomorrow morning. I don't have to set my weight in tomorrow. I'm just curious because after I set my weight, use the restroom a few more times. So that's definitely going to affect everything. So we'll see where I'm at tomorrow. But today is hamstring focus day, and hamstrings are my absolute least favorite muscle group to train. I will not lie. I absolutely hate training hamstrings, mainly because they're my weakest. So I feel like the burning starts more, the hurt starts more, and I have to really dig deep and push through. But in saying all that, like I said, I have to dig deep and push through. So that's not saying that I quit or I give, 20%, 50% on hamstring day. I give 100%. But it definitely sucks a lot more than quad day, even though on quad day I'm putting way more weight on my back and on my quads and on my legs and on my body and my central nervous system. That's, believe it or not, an easier day for me than hamstring day. Also, last week I did stiff legged deadlifts opposed to the hip press, and that was the biggest mistake I could have made. And it definitely let me know that I can never do RDLs again in my life because that instantly triggered my sciatic. I have not had issues with my hamstring and the sciatic running down the hamstring for months now. And I go and do those very lightweight. I don't think I went higher than 40s. And next thing you know, Monday morning, I'm feeling my hamstring. Tuesday, Wednesday. Thankfully, I was able to stretch it out during the week, and it actually responded well to that. And now I have no pain in it, no strain feeling. So lesson learned. Going to stay away from those. Going to stay away from back squats and deadlifts. Those are the three things that I just cannot do. My lower back just does not like it. But as you can see, you can still build an amazing physique without those three movements. So with that being said, we did 3 warm-up sets, 1 working set, and this will be the first 2 top sets. All of them have been partials to full. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've done all partials to full, doing 6 sets, 20 reps each one, and we will do a drop set for the final set. So that's going to be the fun one. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this first top set done. Aiming for 20, ultimately going for muscle failure. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. So it took a bit of a longer break, so I was able to actually push through. I was thinking kind of shorter breaks in between the other sets, so it felt a little heavier than what it should have been. But yeah, that was actually a lot lighter than I probably could have gone. But at the same time, we are no longer in the building phase, guys. We are just now in the detail phase, and also the cautionary phase. As we get closer to the show, as we dry out, our joints, our ligaments, everything else starts to dry out as well, as the body starts to leave our body, as the water starts to leave our body. As you can tell, it's starting to leave my brain. I can barely focus and think and speak. Um, but yeah, as it does that, as it dries out, you have to be careful not to push too much weight, because a lot of little movements or a lot of different things can cause you to tear muscles. You really want to make sure you're methodical in your lifts, slow and steady, and not just busting it out. Because if you use the fast twitch muscles right now, they can tear. So you got to be careful with that. So we're going to do one more set with a drop, and then we'll move on to probably the hip press, I think. And we're going to superset that with the kettlebell raises. My prep brain forgot to do them with this, so we're going to go ahead and do them with the hip presses. Or maybe we'll do them with the lying leg curls, because the hip press is already going to be difficult in itself. So we'll do the hip press, and then we'll do lying leg curls with the kettlebell raises. And then we'll finish off with standing single-legged. And we'll superset that with calf presses. So let's go ahead and do all that. All right, so next thing that we're going to be doing today for hamstrings is going to be the hip press right here. Like I said, last week I got a little lazy, and I decided not to load this thing up with plates and just do some stiff-legged deadlifts. And well, that was probably the worst idea I could have had, because aside from just, giving into the laziness as I shouldn't, I severely, I guess I didn't severely damage, I just re-aggravated my sciatic. And thankfully it's gone away since then, but I do know that it was definitely those stiff-legged deadlifts, because that was the only thing that we did differently last week that I normally do in my hamstring routine. And that was the first time in a very long time that I felt that pain, and I got very scared that it was going to be here for the remainder of prep. Very, very scared, because not that it really hinders me in any way, aside from being able to relax completely, because even in a sitting position, I would be in excruciating pain. I remember there was days where the pain would be a 20 out of 10, and I would be sitting down, and it didn't matter if my legs were down, if my legs were elevated. It would just be like a constant stretching, pulling pain in my hamstring. And it got so bad that at the beginning of this year, actually, the first 2 weeks, I could not walk, because I did something to aggravate it. That was the word I was trying to say earlier, aggravate it. And I aggravated it so badly that I could not put pressure or stand for more than 30 seconds without almost collapsing. So that was definitely a fun 2 weeks. So when I regained that pain in my hamstring, I got very scared that was a potential. But thankfully, I started stretching it out as soon as I started feeling it. And within a few days, it went away. And here we are 7 days later, and I feel fine, thankfully. And we're not going to be doing stiff-legged deadlifts ever again. Even if I get my sciatic worked on and fixed and everything, that's just an exercise that I will probably avoid for the rest of time. And that's the thing about working out, guys. You have to know what exercises work for your body and which ones don't. Just because certain exercises are staples, like the bench press, the back squat, the deadlift, doesn't mean you need to actually do them to attain a great physique. Now, if you're a power lifter, then yeah, that's kind of what you have to do, because that's powerlifting. But if you just want an amazing physique, if you just want to build some great muscle, you don't need to do all that shit. You can build a great physique with just using machines and weight that you can control. And if you want to go heavy, use those machines. That's what they're there for, you know. But with that being said, we're going to do the hip press right here. We did 4 working sets. This is going to be the first of 2 top sets. The second top set after this one, we will do a mile set. So if you don't know what that is, we're going to do 10 reps to open it up, and then we're going to take 15 to 20 seconds rest. And then after that, we're going to do 5 more sets of 5 with 15 to 20 seconds rest in between each set without changing the weight. So you start off at a heavy weight and you just stick with it and push and push and push. And the goal is to get 4 to 5 reps each of those secondary 5 sets. And if you get anything under the 4, you're done. So it's kind of like a game. You can kind of play like a game with it in yourself. If you don't hit 4, you're done. So if you really want to make sure you're getting that full workout, you got to push through and hit that 4 mark at least. And if not, be better and hit that 5. So enough talking and stalling, and let's go ahead and pretty sure I did the weight right. Yeah, the weight's all set up. So let me put my knee sleeves on, and then we'll get started. So this machine's great because, well, I mean, I guess all leg presses are great in this sense and aspect that you can adjust them to how you want to do things. So here, we're going to have our feet up higher on the base plate, pushing more through our heels than the balls of our feet. So that way we're activating more of our glute and hamstrings in this movement. So with this one, we're just going to aim for 12 or failure. Ooh. All right, now that the seat is adjusted and I severely shit my pants, getting scared from that, we can start. Ooh, that's heavy. Ooh, I was not expecting that. Okay, now that we know. Okay, come on. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you see me grabbing my knees a little bit more right now, it's because my right knee is acting up and I just want to make sure it's supported. 9. 10. Alright. That's it. We reached failure there. Alright. So, we're going to have to lower the weight before we do the last set because that was a lot heavier than expected. And I am feeling my right knee just a little bit. So, I don't want to cause any real severe injury. So, we're going to lower the weight and do the mile set. Because as you saw, I was barely able to do 10. And that was with me supporting my knees. So, one, I need to get some new knee sleeves. I had these for a few years. They're a little loose now. So, should probably invest in some newer ones so I'll have better support. Because, well, knee wraps would be fine for these single sets. Knee wraps for like drop sets, multiple sets, it fucking sucks because it comes a point where you just gotta rip them off. You still need support. At least I do. I'm one of those people with bad knees. But as you see, I may have bad knees, but I never skip a leg day. Because just because you have bad knees doesn't mean you have to skip leg day. It doesn't mean you can't lift heavy. It just means you have to take the proper precautions and steps to be prepared and ready to do it. But with that being said, we're going to do this last set. Then we'll move on to line leg curls. And we'll superset those with the kettlebell leg raises. So let's go ahead and move on.